Saving spaces in a snow emergency, something that is an allowance in Boston. A space saver, any personal item you choose to leave and trust outside to make sure you will have a place to park your car when you get home in case of a snowstorm. Snowstorms and how much snow is supposed to hit is always up in the air. So how is someone supposed to know when or when they can't use a space saver? Something this Bostonian took into his own hands, building a website to definitively tell someone yes you can or no you cannot use a space saver.
So the problem is you could save a space when there's a snow emergency. And then for 48 hours after it ends, right? But, well, A, not everybody knows when a snow emergency starts. Right, unless you're on Twitter or you're like watching the news all the time. Certainly, like if you came home, if you're driving home and there's a snow emergency, you're not going to run in, go turn on the news, go figure out if there's a snow emergency, right? Oh, can I? And then once it ends, who starts the countdown clock, right? Like, okay, let's 48 hours. And on the 49th hour, what? Like you take back your space saver? Nobody really does that, right? Yeah. So, and then, a lot of times you get a lot of snow, maybe a couple inches, and people start putting out space savers, and there is no snow emergency. But the problem is, and it's not their fault. As soon as one person puts out a space saver, everybody has to, because otherwise you come back and there's no spots to park in. For you. Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like the rule of the land, right? But and some people are upset about it because some people are tracking the snow emergencies and they're saying like, oh, it's not a snow emergency, and they take away somebody's space saver. Yeah. But it's not necessarily that person's fault because they didn't know. They just saw snow, and right. So the idea of the site is just, like you go to someone's house and you play a board game. There's house rules. Like, okay, what happens if you land on Go in Monopoly, or like free parking, right? And as long as you agree on the ground rules, then there's no fighting, right? So that's really all it is. It's a place where everybody in Boston, or specifically Southie for now, can go and definitively say, okay, yes, I can use a space saver now, or no, without having to check 12 different sources. The idea that you get a clear, definitive answer, and then you also get reasons, right? Because nobody likes an answer without why it's there, and every reason is a link to either the actual rule or sort of like the ground rules, right? So right now it says, no, you definitely cannot use a space saver because there's no snow emergency. That obviously links you to the rule, and also because, there's no snow.